Hello, my lovely peaches. Look. It's warmed up, even though I'm all bundled up. I can't see my breath. I think it's almost 50 degrees. Woohoo! Fahrenheit. So I'm walking to bus stop, meet my son, and it's funny. I worked so hard on my latest video and I really poured my heart into it, and it hasn't even gotten like 300 views yet. Go check it out. It's really good. It's long. It's 3 hours and 15 minutes. Juicy stuff. So I noticed a couple of things which are not crimes or evidence, but I did think it was weird. Like, she had her sunglasses on her head. I have to actually go back and check if she ever took them off, but that struck me as odd, even though it took me like 5,000 times of watching it before I even noticed it. But I'm like, wait, she's got her sunglasses on her head. She's crying. She's boo-hoo-hooing. They never come off. She never takes them off. How do you sit there with sunglasses on your head for that long? I don't know. That's what I'm saying. This is not, it doesn't mean anything. I just thought it was weird. It's loud out here. Can you hear the birds? Like seagulls. I love that. You can get to the beach in about an hour or less, depending on time of day, time of year, and which beach you go to. I mean, like the ocean. I'm a coastal girl, but not like close enough to be a beach town by any means. It's like an hour. But here are the seagulls, which is very nice. Okay, I actually found the exact spot where she takes them off. So she had them on for 3 hours and 7 minutes. I don't know why. I think it's just funny. It's like, all right, let me go to the actual video.
Okay, let me check on that, okay?
I'm not trying to create more work for you.
You're not creating more work. This is kind of what I'm here for right now. Exactly what I'm here for, okay?
Yeah.
Then she sits there for 5 minutes, and again, this isn't evidence of anything. It was just one of those things that struck me as odd, that it was 3 hours in before she even thought to take the damn things off. But damn, they stayed on her head with all that boo-hooing and sobbing. Those shits didn't go anywhere.
Sitting in this room by myself right now is like a form of torture.
I'm sorry. I know. I keep leaving you, and I don't want to, but Joanna, who's been in and out of here, the female, she is just facing back. She's our special victims investigator, which means she does all the child and stuff.
So I've been back in the house for quite a while, and And oh, so I just screen recorded. I don't know why it was like irking me. So her leaving her glasses on her head for 3 hours, it doesn't mean anything. I just thought that was pretty weird. And then, so I found the part where she actually takes them off, and then she's sitting there by herself when the victim advocate goes to get whatever. She's just sitting there, and when the victim, I think her name is Sarah, when Sarah comes back, she says, so I thought this was so weird. She's just sitting there like staring off into space, and then you hear the door open and she says,
Sitting in this room by myself right now is like a form of torture.
I'm sorry. I know.
sitting
I keep
in
leaving
this
you,
room
and
by
I don't want
myself
to,
right
but-
now is like a form of torture.
Joanna, who's been in and out of here, the
But
female.
like, okay, so the door opens, Sarah comes in and she says, without looking at her and acknowledging her, she just says, sitting in this room by myself right now is like a form of torture. And then Sarah says, I'm sorry, I know I keep leaving you and I don't want to, but Joanna has been in and out of here. The female, she's just...
Sitting in this room by myself right now is like a form of torture.
I'm sorry. I know. I keep leaving you, and I don't want to, but Joanna, who's been in and out of here, the female. She is just some back. She's our special victims investigator, which means she does.
Well, so, but I just thought that that was kind of funny that she's sitting there by herself for, let's see, how long was she sitting there? So Sarah leaves the room at 3:07 and comes back 5 minutes later at 3:11. So for 5 minutes, she's sitting there and she's just like staring. Interrupting this short video for dessert. Vegan vegan sorbetto for my kiddo. Gonna serve it. Oh, this is a super cool bowl that my sister bought me. I just said your name. The video is on if you want to be on. If you want to say hello. That's my baby.
You gotta cut out my name.
That's right.
Popcorn.
Oh. Oh, well, I already showed the ice clam. Vegan popcorn. Popcorn with booter. Vegan booter. Actually, it's Earth Balance. All right, so I'm going to do a short video about Wendy with an eye because she lies. Is that enough?
Yeah, it's good.
All right. Maybe a little more here. Scrape that off. Scrape it. Yum. Right, and this is delicious if you're vegan or even if you're not vegan. Talenti, dairy-free, not sponsored. And the new pens that are also not sponsored. Look at this very cool packaging. How adorable is that? This packaging is so cool. My son was like, oh my God, it's an optical illusion. It's so cool. And unfortunately, I prefer pens that are 0.7 millimeter, and these are 0.5, which I knew. But they're really too fine for my tastes. And then I also bought these, which are new, which are also, oh, this is the brand, Right Tech. And they're very cool, but they're super fine. So, again, not sponsored, but hey, Right Tech, if you're watching, I actually just bought a third package of pens because I wanted the 7mm. So wait, where's the one that I just, oh, okay. So these ones, they're very cool. They're ombre. They have this cool feature, which is cool. This thing slides in, which is nice, but I write a lot on my lap. So I just noticed like when you put it down, it just rolls off, which is kind of annoying. But I can show you how they look while I talk about what I was gonna say, which is adding to my mock opening for Wendy, which starts off, this is a story about Wendi Adelson, Wendy with an I, because she lies, and who, let's see, who would do this? Who would do, wait, that's backwards? No, I don't think it's backwards. Who would do this? You would do this, Wendy. Who would do this? You would do this, Wendy. You would do this. It's ombre. It's black ink, like Blackpink, but black ink, and it's only 5mm. Which is way too fine for my taste. I like a thick line. I like a thick. Anyway, packing this back up. Wait, no, wait, I did want to have a couple out. So, who would do this? Wendy and her family would do this. So, as I said, I posted that video. I quite like it, and I didn't want to post another video because I don't want to pull views away from it by posting a new one, but now I feel like maybe it makes more sense to make a little video to say, hey guys, I posted this amazingly cool video, go check it out. What I love about the video is that, well, first I do like a mock, not exactly a mock opening because I'm not a lawyer and I don't know all the things that would, I did, you know, research, but not enough to make an actual mock opening. But there's like the beginning of what would become a mock opening at the start and some commentary. And then I read 37 minutes of the first 37 minutes of Wendi Adelson's police interview, which was conducted by Inspector Detective Craig Isom on Friday, July 18th, 2014, the day that Dan Markel was shot. I was going to ask if anybody really loved the video, did they want me to do the next part and continue from the 37 mark and do another half an hour worth and read it and do like a similar video. But since that video is not really getting that many views, I don't know. I'm not quite motivated. Maybe if it starts picking up views and then people are like, yes, please do the next section, I would do it. But I'm not motivated on my own at the moment to try if it's not even getting any views. And I think it's a really good video. So after I read and comment on that 37 minutes, I then show the 37 minutes, which is a little bit blurrier than the original, which is already blurry because I ran it in chunks through to get captions, which are burned on the screen, which I find to be extremely helpful. My kid. Maybe the next thing I should do is more investigating when Krista Koss was questioning her, or maybe I should look into more of Georgia Kappelman's questioning, or maybe I should just stop making these videos for now and get back to making the kind of videos that I had originally started this channel for. Like one of the videos I wanted to make was called, Are You Ghosting Yourself? And Another video I wanted to make is about talking about manifesting a specific person or specific person obsession, and more to the point that being obsessed with manifesting a specific person regardless of circumstances is in itself an extremely unhealthy mind state, a very limited mind state, a very arrogant mind state, and a faulty low self-esteem mixed with this sort of narcissistic arrogance, which, you know, narcissism is inherently a low self-esteem dilemma or condition. And those are the kind of videos that the reason I made this channel was to talk about healing from trauma and healing from horrible experiences and healing from low self-esteem and healing from lack of self-love and learning how to love yourself through the process of learning to like yourself. Bless you, bless you. Gesundheit. So, but now I'm at a crossroads. I'm at the traverse. I'm at the pivot point, the fork in the road. There's the kid. What's up?
Nothing. I thought that I misremembered that we moved all the books out of it. So you want to grab a book.
Well, you have some over here on your cubby.
Oh, actually, maybe.
And actually, what book do you... Hold on, let me pause this. I'll be back. So, stretch. I do have a couple of stretch videos that I shot, but never put together. They're actually only like 5 minutes. So maybe I'll do another stretch video. Are you interested in that? That's for Patreon members. Or now that I'm monetized, I can start to get memberships here on YouTube. Oh yeah, by the way, I'm monetized, so you can support me here. You can be a member. I have decided to just put 4 tiers: cats, loves, dreamings, and peaches. Pick your level. You can support me. The more you support me, the more I can make more videos more often. So yes, I don't really have a whole lot to say except thank you so much for all your lovely and interesting and intriguing comments. And there was an amazing comment from, let me find your name, Dave Mahara or Mahara. You said that you really enjoyed this presentation and that I'm a good extemporaneous speaker, which was such a lovely thing to say, even though I had to look it up. But I was so impressed by so I looked up what's a good extemporaneous speaker. I'm reading over here. A good extemporaneous speaker is articulate, competent, and confident about their subject. And then there was a lot of other really cool stuff that I was very, 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 very flattered and impressed and appreciative of you, Dave. Thank you so much. And let's see, I can do some shout outs. Thank you, Michelle. Michelle, you cracked me up. And Ivani, thank you for your comment. And Marcus, mwah, mwah, kisses and hugs and crowns to you. You're always sweet, and thank you. And Stephen Shem, thank you so much for your comments and your engagements. I'm really thankful. Day by Day, Charlie Hobo, you guys are leaving amazing comments and engagement. I love that. Ellen, thank you so much. And let's see who else I can shout out. Heather Windsor, Skystone. Oh, poor Jeff. That's so true. So then there was a few trolls. No, thank you. Selena and Earl. Earl's my pearl. Thank you guys so much. And let's see, the Kelly Donuts. Donuts with the Z. Sherry. Then Little Smith. You hate Jeff. That's sad. Sad about that. And Judy. And of course, so Judy Moore, oh, thinks I'm way off base. That's okay. And Bird Mang says, who cares if people are offended? Yes. Okay, George doesn't think there's enough evidence for her to be arrested. And Gloria thinks that her and her whole family are responsible. So I just wanted to do a few shout outs. Thank you so much. I absolutely love your comments for the most part. And it's funny because I never used to get comments, and there was somebody I used to follow whose name I won't mention because I stopped following her because I got quite turned off, but I used to love her videos. I would literally watch her stuff every day. And I would read the comments and I would comment. And one day I was commenting and somebody was commenting back. And then I commented back. And then they commented back. And I was going to comment it back. And it was like really engaging. And it was not the creator who was commenting. It was someone else. But I was having a very interesting and enjoyable conversation. And then I went to comment back. And all of a sudden my comment was deleted and I was like, what the F? And I went and saw she had turned all the comments off completely. And I felt like she just kicked me in the teeth. And then she started to make videos talking about, oh, by the way, these are massage tools, which are absolutely amazing. She started to say that her goal was to have a channel where she basically, so she sits in her car every time, all the time, and she would almost always wear the same sweatshirt, which fucking irked me, just like it irked me that Wendy had her sunglasses on her head for 3 hours. And I'm pulling up my blanket, my heating pad, I'm shifting my ass and my back right here. Okay, but so this girl had, she claims she's like a multimillionaire, but then it's like, yet I never see you but anywhere sitting in your car. And how are you always wearing the same sweatshirt? Like, I'm talking about literally one of these kinds. Like, to me, this is like a one wear because it's thin. I also personally, I'm getting off on a tangent right now, but a lot of people talk and they joke about the clothes that you wore one time, but they're not dirty enough to wash, but they're not clean enough to hang up. And I'm like, fuck that. One wash, you're done. And I used to be like that, but 2020, I was like, fuck hanging shit or draping shit. Like, once you worn it, boom, it's dirty. I don't care. That's just, so with that in my mindset as well, it's like, do you have 500 of the same sweatshirt? Are you stinky? Are you just wearing it every single day? Like, I don't know. It's giving me the creeps. like it's so weird, things that make people weirded out. But it was like, I pretty much really liked her message. But then I was just like, how are you wearing the same sweatshirt every day? I don't understand this. It's just giving me weird vibes. And then when she deleted comments and she started saying, I want a channel where I can just do my little videos, say what I want to say, and then boom, be out and no comments. Nobody else can comment. Nobody can talk to each other. It was such a turnoff. And I unfollowed her because I was just like, wow, she really helped me to clarify myself that even though I'm an introvert and I'm not like one of those extroverts who are like, I really want to build a community. I don't necessarily want to build a community, but I do want to have engagement. I want people to feel like my channel is a safe place where you are welcome. You're welcome to comment. Comments are welcome. Questions are welcome. People talking to each other, having conversations amongst yourselves without my engagement is welcomed. What's not welcomed is spam, trolls, and just, mean people who want to tell me that I'm ugly or I'm old or you don't like my hair or my wrinkles. Like, immediately block, immediately no, fuck you, fuck off. Okay, I have no tolerance for that. But I don't have tolerance for people body shaming. I don't have tolerance for that kind of crap. But if you want to call Wendy up, your comment ends up in my held for review, but I'm like, true, except. But yeah, just if you don't want to get flagged, then you can use an exclamation point instead of the I. It's kind of like an upside down I anyway. But anyway, I think that for the most part, those of you who are my tribe, you vibe, you get it, and you will enjoy maybe not every single video that I make, but that's life. People come, people go. I evolve, I grow, I ebb, I flow. So I am curious though, are you interested in me continuing on with reading the transcript of Wendy's police interview as a script and giving my commentary and then transcribing it and popping it in the end? Would you like me to continue with the police interview from where I left off, or was that enough for you? And again, I will wait to see if that video actually gets views, because if it's not even going to break 300 or 500, if it's not going to make 1,000 views, then I don't want to spend 40 hours on a video that a handful of people care about. Now, when I make a video talking about manifesting love for yourself, liking yourself, expanding, or developing your own creativity, or developing skills, or learning how to have a hobby, or letting yourself invest time and energy and money into a hobby that you already know what it is, but you just don't allow yourself to, all of these are the things that really interest me as well. And yes, I am fascinated by Wendy Adelson's case because I want to see that bitch go to jail. And I am also interested in the Shanna Gardner case, and cases I do not follow, will not follow, are the ones that involve, child abuse and stuff like that. Like the Ruby Frankie, Jody Hildebrandt. I watched Jody Hildebrandt's niece, 3-hour video. I watched a lot about it, but I couldn't cover it myself because it's just too much for me, too gruesome, too bad for my mental health. So then there's the Courtney Clenny case that I'll follow. And yeah, so I'm gonna leave this here and just playing with my brand new pens. I showed my pens, I showed my massage thingies, I showed my cute kid, and I hope that you have a wonderful night. It is currently Tuesday, February 27th, and I'll see you soon. Oh, yes, and I forgot to say, welcome and welcome back. See you in the next one. I did promise that I would talk a little bit more at the end, so I did also, yes, I was going to shout out Judy, AA Legal Focus. She's so funny. She's spicy. Oh my God, Judy, you're funny. And also, of course, extremely intelligent and interesting. I always look forward to her new videos. Okay, so I also wanted to mention that I did start watching Alita. Let me see. Alita Legal Bites. She's covering the Hannah Gutierrez Reed trial and the Alec Baldwin, which I am interested in that. So I was talking about, yes, I want to add more thoughts about my mock opening. I'm going to get to that. Side note, ew, Cuba Batting Jr. I did not realize Natalie Lawyer Chick was reading some of a new lawsuit against P. Diddy again for SA, which mentioned him, but he's not including him. But apparently he was guilty of SA. Ew. So these were the videos I mentioned that I might want to make. I was wanting to make. Oh, also this one, love is conditional, period. Love should be conditional. Funny, I spent 8 hours arguing with someone 20 years ago about that. Oh, love is unconditional. And she said, no, it's not. It's conditional. And then many years later, I realized, oh, wait, you're right. I saw that Siddhartha Guru guy. He posted something today about opinions. You can't love with opinions. And I'm like, that is some bull motherfucking shit. People need to learn to discern the difference between having an opinion and being judgmental, okay? You can have an opinion. If you don't have an opinion, what the hell? How do you not have an opinion? You cannot have an opinion about something that you don't know about. But it's not wrong to have opinions. It's discerning. It means you're using your brain. Okay. And on that note, and just to elaborate a little bit on what I mean by love is conditional and it should be conditional, is that the concept of unconditional love is actually the breeding ground for abuse, neglect, narcissism, gaslighting, all kinds of awful treatment. And that when we idolize this concept or mind state that we ought to love somebody regardless of circumstances, no matter what they do, no matter what they say, no matter how they make us feel, no matter how they treat us, no matter what mud they drag us through, that we should just love them regardless. And I want to just distinguish love in an action, present tense, love as a verb, is conditional. Now you can unconditionally love, you can love anybody you want to. My opinion is we can freely love anyone unconditionally if that also includes that they're not necessarily in our lives. Like, I don't love my biological mother. I don't have love for her. But I have allowed myself to feel forgiveness for her and to not feel hatred, because I recognize that hatred is poison against me. It's going to only make me, like, I held on to hatred for this woman for all those years. And then I finally realized, wait, that's poisoning me. It's not hurting her. So, no, I do not love her. I have allowed myself to forgive in a sense that also includes she's never going to be in my life. I'm never going to see her again. I have no desire or intention to ever actually see her. I love my children unconditionally. Now they're children and I'm raising them, and anything they do or say, I love them. And when they get older, I will love them no matter what. But if they turn out, I don't believe they will, but you know, you don't know. You can't predict. You can't be a mind reader as much as some people like to think. I don't know how things will unfold, and if it turns out that they become abusive or, violent or criminals or just awful people, and it's terrible to be around them. I can love them unconditionally from afar. But the point is, if you don't have conditions, if you don't have standards, if you don't have boundaries, if you don't have behavior that you say this is unacceptable behavior and this is acceptable behavior, then you become susceptible for all kinds of abuse. And if you believe that other people are meant to or ought to love you that way, then you become susceptible to becoming an abuser. Because if you believe that somebody ought to love you no matter what you do, say, think, feel, how you cheat, how you lie, how you steal, who you harm, who you're rude to, who you undertip, who you don't tip, if people don't take into consideration all these different aspects, then are they really actually loving you? Or are they just a punching bag or like a welcome mat that just takes anything, a dump, a garbage dump? I love you no matter what you do. I'm a garbage can. You can just dump any shit in here. I can be a refrigerator. I could be a freezer. I could be a garbage can. I could be a box in the attic. I could be a garden. Anything you want. I could be any kind of receptacle you want. Whatever. It's unconditional. I'll just take it. I don't think that's love. I think that's undiscerning. Like I was saying, that Siddhartha Guru guy talking about you can't have an opinion in love. Fuck you. How about that? How about that opinion? Learn to discern the difference between having an opinion and being a judgmental asshole. Okay, because I can have an opinion, but that doesn't mean that I think that because I have an opinion, therefore you ought to also have that opinion. When I start to believe that my opinion is the only opinion that ought to be opined, my kids are being loud as fuck, then that makes me a judgmental person. So learn to discern. First of all, learn to discern so that you can even have an opinion, okay? Learn to discern between facts and lies. Learn to discern between real and fantasy. Learn to discern between viable and incompatible. Learn. Learn to learn. Learn how to learn. Learn how to discern. Then learn how to not be a judgmental asshole who thinks it's just because you think or feel something or know something that other people are supposed to as well. Or that just because that's your opinion or your perspective, that ought to be theirs too. Like some people watch Jeffrey Lacoste and they genuinely didn't like him. They thought he was a sleaze. They thought he was a liar. They thought he was a wimp or a simp or whatever. That's you're entitled to have your opinion. And I don't agree with people having to have the same opinion. But I also don't agree with the idea that love is something that should have no boundaries, no discernment, no standards, no limits, no conditions. That's bullcrap. If you have absolutely no conditions, then is that really love, or are you just a doormat? I'm going to start a new page so I can make my note that I wanted to talk about. The additional note for my mock trial. Let's see, where'd the new blue pen go? All right, my mock opening. So this is why I love these particular notebooks, because there's a spot for that. Look. There's a spot for the day of the week. It's actually raining right now. I'm not pleased that this raining icon doesn't have actual rain in it, but okay. Now I'm getting too picky. And it's 10:39 p.m. But then I'm obsessed, even though I wrote this and I circled this. Ever since I was 12 years old, I have had an obsession with writing, and I write the day of the week and the date, the month, and then I write the year. Okay, I already wrote it, but I'm having fun with my new pens. Okay, so continuing on to my mock opening in the imaginary but hopefully true soon, true to be soon. Oh my fucking God. I was going on the wrong angle. Okay. So there are two extremely important questions or concepts whenever you're trying to figure out, whenever you're researching anything. Critical thinking and research should always start with these two questions or concepts. Number one, who benefits? Okay? Who benefits from the action, the crime, whatever it is? Who benefits the most? So you make your list of people who benefit. Right, and in this case of the who benefits from the murder of Dan Markel, Wendy. Number one. This is awkward the way I'm holding this. Let me see. Okay. Who benefits Wendy? Okay, then the next very important concept or question in research, whether you're researching, is dairy good for you? I'm jumping in to comment on the dairy thing. It's dark. I don't feel like turning my lights on. My kids are being really loud. When I said who benefits from dairy, what I was talking about is if you research and you look up, you can find a lot of studies that show dairy is good for you. But then when you look up, well, who conducted that study? The dairy industry. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. When you look up a study and it says, this is great, this is a great drug. Well, who conducted the study? Follow the money. You got to look at the source. Who ran the study? If the company that's profiting off of the study's results are the ones who ran the study, guess what? It's probably fucking fake. You know? Just like who financially benefited from Dan Markel's murder? Wendy. Who physically benefited? Wendy. Who financially, I already said that. Who emotionally benefited? Wendy. Who geographically benefited? Wendy. Who religiously benefited? Wendy. Who co-parentingly benefited? Wendy. Who wanted everything she ever wanted? Benefited? Wendy. Who was able to move where she wanted to move? Wendy. These are not inconsequential things at all. Or who killed Dan Markel? Always follow the money. Follow the money. Okay? So who benefits from the action and follow the money. Gotta drink your water. Water break. Again, not sponsored. Gots to coordinate. Gots to hydrate. All right. So who benefits and follow the money? So in the case of the murder of Dan Markel, who benefited from his murder? Number one, I've already mentioned this quite a few times. The person who benefited the ultimate most was his ex-wife, the mother of his children, the person who he was taking to court, the person he was very litigious against, the person who, according to his own motions, had walked away with $600,000 unchallenged, money that she should not have taken. The same woman who claimed in the police interview that Dan owed her money. Did he owe anybody money? No, he owed me money. And then she goes into this long, convoluted bullshit packed with details that are not necessary and some that are quite revealing, like her shady ass lawyer and her saying, my name shouldn't be on the house. I don't know. Danny wanted the house. They said he could have it, but he had to pay her. What did she word it? She talked about herself in the third person. She's such a freak. And in the worst way, okay? It's like I was talking to my son last night about how, you know, there's bad as in bad, but bad as in good, like LL Cool J said. And, oh, he was telling me how the latest way of saying good is like, oh, what did he say? Like, that's despicable. Or, I don't remember what he said, but it's kind of like when somebody makes you laugh and you're like, I'm dead. Like I said. Judy AA Legal Focus, she posted a picture which was very funny, and then somebody pointed out her shirt. She has on the same fucking owl t-shirt that Wendy wore the day of the murder, which I do still believe. I will always believe that the bullet bourbon actually was a fucking... Oh, that was the other thing I wanted to say. I'm so glad that I found this before I ended the video. I'd be so annoyed because I did believe that she picked bullet bourbon as a... she's an evil bitch and she thinks she's really cunning, and you know, it's like the owl t-shirt. It's just like, yes, it could be a coincidence, but I also just think it's not. But when I was doing my little bit of bourbon research, was bullet bourbon in the top 10 that year? Would it be something that somebody at a liquor store would probably recommend? Like, was it hot? Was it in? And no, it didn't make the list of the things I found, but I did find there was another one that's called Heaven's Door, and I thought, oh, she could have picked that. And then I also realized Dan's girlfriend's last name was Adler, and I thought, isn't that weird? Wendy was Adelson, and then it was Amy Adler, so their last names both started with A-D-L-E. Again, means nothing. Just weird. Like, that was weird. I'd be like, nah, your name. I'd be like, you remind me of a girl that I once knew. I can't do it. Sorry. No, but apparently Amy had a famous brother. Amy was wealthy. Amy was educated. Amy sounds like an amazing woman. I'm very sorry for the Markel boys, the Markel Adelson boys, that they didn't get to have her in their life and that they lost that connection. Dotting the I's with Wendy who lies. Plot points. Motive, evidence, plot points, plop, plop, of mastermind. Who benefited the most? I represent victims. I represent immigrant victims of crime. And then on the stand, she says, I don't know about that. That way I took a semester in 2003. Didn't you work with Judge so-and-so? Not really. You fucking liar. I know you fucking lying. Yeah, and then she was scared that the hitmen were going to come to attack the boys. It makes more sense. I just turned off my lights. I turned them back on so I can make another point. Climb back in my chair. Butt in. So this is speculation on my part. It's dark. I don't really want to do like... I don't want to be in the dark. Let's see. If I go over here. So the fact that she kept talking about being afraid that they were going to come after the boys and that she was afraid that the Markel name. I mean, I feel like on one hand she could just be lying because she's a pathological liar. I do believe that. And that she was acting the way she thought somebody who was a victim would act, like in a bad novel, like in a really bad, cheesy, large print novel you'd get at the farthest back aisle of the library. Like the senior citizen, the novel. Like, to me, the way she acted seems like putting on a performance of the way you imagine somebody in that role would behave instead of actual authentic behavior. So I think that, yeah, it was all phony. But oh, I almost lost the point. If there was any truth to her fear of them, the killers, coming to attack her and her children, I mean, I don't see how that makes sense. Like, the only way it would make sense to me is like you hired them and then, you know, you think that there's such like murderous, money-hungry people that they're gonna threaten to kill you or your kids to get more money. Like, basically, it kind of gave me the thought like she's afraid of being extorted for more money from the people she hired to kill her. Her very litigious ex-husband, who she despised, who was trying to follow the money and show how she was benefiting by cheating the system in all the ways she cheated. She's afraid that they might come to her and say, hey, give us more money than you originally did, or we're going to kill you or your kids. That, to me, that makes a lot more sense if that was a real fear than somebody who knows nothing about why this man was shot or by who or how or what the circumstances were, but yet you're terrified that they're going to hunt you down. Like, how would they know to hunt you down? That's just very weird to me. So yeah, I just wanted to point that out as well. Now this video that was supposed to be like 5 minutes became an hour because I had nothing to say. Speculation only, but if you're truly innocent, your ex-husband gets murdered at his house. It's just so weird that she didn't ask any questions. She didn't ask any follow-up questions. I want to know what Detective Isom really thinks. I want to know what Sarah, the victim advocate, really thinks. I want to know what every motherfucking person who knew this bitch thinks. What do her friends who she went to school with think? elementary school, middle school, high school. I know all this stuff is not relevant, and you're not allowed to just scrape the shoe off the bottom of the, scrape the goo off the bottom of your shoe to prove character assassination. This bitch has been a fake ass phony since, you know, she came out of the womb fake and phony. I don't know. But some people are raised that way. I know someone whose ex was raised. He told me a few times that his mother specifically raised him to believe as long as people think you're wealthy, as long as you look rich, don't matter if your lights are cut off and you got nothing to eat. It's all about looks. Substance and the truth is irrelevant. All that matters is what people perceive of you. So always buy expensive clothes. Always have the latest device. Always be a fake ass motherfucker. And when somebody really gets to know you and they find out that, you know, you're taking out credit cards in your wife's name without her knowing, and you're racking up bills, and yeah, there are people who literally are raised like that. Like, that's what their mama told them. And they were like, sounds good to me. Then you have somebody like Robert Adelson, who, from what I have read and heard, it seems like he was like, this ain't right, and y'all ain't right, and fuck y'all. But, of course, not right away. He went through his own... What the hell was that? Some loud video. He went through his own trials and tribulation, fell in love with a woman who his family disapproved of, and so he broke up with her and went ahead and married a woman that they chose or approved of, or who was okay to them, but then he couldn't do it and got that annulled. I'm talking about Robert Adelson. And then, so from what I understand, I saw the pictures that Wendy and Harvey and Donna did go, and Charlie went to Robert's wedding, and they dressed in saris, and I personally love that culture. Like, so many things about, I mean, India is like billion people or whatever it is, so there's lots of variety of culture in there. But God, it was offensive to me. Like, it just made me cringe inside to see those pictures of those racist, cruel murderers wearing saris, like, knowing that they made him marry another woman first, and then, like, you have the nerve to show up wearing the outfit. Then, anyway, I guess, like, it was fake. So, what I heard or read was that after Dan was murdered, Robert was concerned. Who did this? Wanting to find out, ask questions. Who did this? And again, this is speculation, rumors. I don't know if it's true, but that I think I heard it maybe on a podcast of his, but that basically the gist of it, paraphrasing, was that Wendy was pissed that he's asking, like, she said to him, all you care about is who did this. And he's like, right. And that at some point after that, he cut them out. He cut them off because he realized something's weird. And that's what I know about him. I'd love to know, is he going to testify in Donna's trial? Is it relevant? Will he testify when hopefully Wendy gets arrested? All right, now it's 10:57, and I'd like to post this video before midnight. I don't know if that's possible, so I'm going to cut it here, and I'll see you in the next one. As always, please feel free to leave comments, questions, thoughts, and don't do it if you're a troll. Okay, bye. Oh, one last thing. Again, thank you, Kathy Daniels, for pointing out I said 2023 when I meant to say 2013. And I just got 16 seconds ago Indie Golds. Thank you. Hi, love your videos. Thank you. But you know Wendy is confused about what the system is. Anything for money. And thank you. You love my hair and my look. Ah! Thank you. Thank you. And thank you for subscribing. Thank you for joining. Thank you for watching. Thank you for sharing. I love when you share and I love when you comment. And I'll see you soon. Bye.